In a recent address to the United Nations, President Donald Trump delivered a speech that sharply criticized global climate policy while simultaneously championing an America First energy agenda. The core of his message was a rejection of climate change as a genuine threat, dismissing it as the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world. He argued that so-called green renewable energy and strict environmental regulations are destroying a large part of the free world, and warned that countries prioritizing a green energy agenda were on the brink of destruction. Instead, he advocated for a return to traditional energy sources like oil, natural gas, and beautiful clean coal, framing them as essential for national strength, economic prosperity, and regaining global greatness. This position stands in stark contrast to the overwhelming scientific consensus and the cooperative goals of international bodies like the UN, which aim to combat climate change through collective action and a transition to renewable energy. Analysis of reasons and consequences. The reasons behind Trump's stance are multifaceted, rooted in a combination of political, economic, and ideological motivations. Politically, his position resonates deeply with his domestic political base, which often views environmental regulations as an economic burden and a form of government overreach. By touting a pro-fossil fuel agenda, he appeals to voters in energy-producing states and industries, promising job growth and energy independence. Economically, his argument is that a focus on traditional energy reduces costs for consumers and businesses, making the U.S. more competitive. This aligns with his broader America First philosophy, which prioritizes national economic interests over international environmental commitments. Ideologically, the speech reflects a deeply skeptical view of globalism and multilateral institutions. By painting the UN and international climate accords as ineffective or even malevolent forces, he positions himself as a defender of national sovereignty against what he perceives as a restrictive global agenda. The consequences of this approach are significant, both domestically and internationally. Globally, Trump's rhetoric undermines international cooperation and the momentum of landmark agreements like the Paris Climate Accord. His dismissal of climate science creates a ripple effect, potentially emboldening other countries or leaders who are hesitant to commit to climate action. This could slow down the global transition to clean energy and make it more difficult to achieve the emission reduction targets necessary to avoid the most catastrophic effects of climate change. Domestically, his policies could reverse progress made on environmental protection, leading to increased pollution, and could jeopardize the future of the burgeoning clean energy sector, which is a significant source of jobs and technological innovation. Furthermore, the political and social polarization on the issue could intensify, making it harder to forge bipartisan solutions to address climate-related challenges. Prediction. Based on this trajectory, it is highly probable that President Trump will continue to use his platform to dismantle climate-related policies and regulations. We can predict that his administration will prioritize deregulation of the fossil fuel industry, withdraw from or weaken international climate agreements, and promote the expansion of oil, gas, and coal production. This will likely involve halting or delaying clean energy projects, such as offshore wind farms, and reducing funding for climate science research. The focus will be on maximizing domestic energy output in the short term, regardless of the long-term environmental consequences. The global reaction will likely be a mix of defiance and adaptation, with many nations reaffirming their commitment to climate action, while others may seek to capitalize on the U.S. stance by expanding their own fossil fuel industries or seeking new alliances. Solutions. Addressing the aforementioned issues requires a multi-pronged approach that extends beyond the political sphere. First, a renewed emphasis on clear, accessible science communication is critical to counteract misinformation. Scientists, educators, and public figures must work together to explain the real-world impacts of climate change and the economic benefits of renewable energy. Second, economic solutions should be a central part of the conversation. highlighting the job creation, technological innovation, and energy security that come with the clean energy transition, can help build broader support. This includes policies that offer incentives for renewable energy development and training programs for workers in traditional energy sectors to transition to new industries. Furthermore, international diplomacy must continue, even in the face of U.S. opposition. Other nations should reaffirm their commitment to the Paris Agreement and other climate accords, working together to create a global market for clean technology that is too powerful to ignore. Finally, at a grassroots level, community-based initiatives, local government action, and corporate leadership can create a groundswell of change that is less susceptible to political shifts. By focusing on practical local solutions and demonstrating the tangible benefits of a sustainable economy, it is possible to build resilience and continue the transition to a cleaner energy future, regardless of the political climate at the top. This proactive and decentralized approach offers the most promising path forward in the face of high-level policy challenges. The views and claims expressed in the analyzed speech are not consistent with the scientific consensus